Hello, I'd like to introduce you to Invincible Meow. This is a player from a comment, as always, and this is one where it's pretty much the most obvious case you can see straightforward. It's a brand new account, 1,000 battles, 4 in arcade. Now, I'm going to switch over this. He has 4 battles in arcade, right? He's never died. Well, he's died once in the arcade match, and you can see from here he's a 4-1 in his T55AM1. He's a 3-1 in his terms. He's a 3-1 in that, 3-1 in that, 3-1 in that. He's very good for being a very brand new player to the game. Now, I find it incredibly funny that Gaijin will allow players like this to go unchecked, where they spent like $60 or $100 or $200 just going unchecked, and that is what should tell you about how Easy Anti-Cheat works. Easy Anti-Cheat is not detecting a single bypass right now. Gaijin was graciously given a cheater list by a person who effectively infiltrated the Chinese player base, and yet from that code dump, they didn't figure anything out. They're not figuring anything out from all of the cheaters that they're encountering right now. They're not deducing what is going on with the player base with cheating and all this other stuff right now. They're just letting this perpetuate, and that should just be okay, I guess. And it's also, I would bet, the main reason why Gaijin is considering doing a different anti-cheat. But as far as I know, Easy Anti-Cheat is actually pretty good if you set it up correctly. But if BattleEye is going to be their next alternative, why would they not just consider something different? Why would they not go? Why would they go with BattleEye? BattleEye obviously has, you know, it's different, yes, but it's not. I don't think it's going to solve anything. Ever since I do some of these videos, I've been doing a lot of research on, you know, which ones are better, which ones are worse, blah, blah, blah. And you get stuff like this where someone's staring straight at you through a wall and scouting you through said wall, and then stares at you center mass through said wall, and yet Gaijin still has no way of detecting this. I get that the code has been cracked years ago. Basically, after EAC got introduced, their code's been cracked. But like I said before, there's plenty of times, if you look in the past, if you've played like I have for 10 plus years or around 10 years, you'll see that this game was pretty secure back then. And the general, obviously, theory with a lot of players is that, well, Gaijin clearly opened their game up so they could start selling their own cheats. No, that's... If any company was doing that, it would have to be a past employee, or it would be, you know, some disgruntled person. But most of the time, if I look at all the research I've done, it's people realizing that it's now easy to crack this game, and now they're going to start abusing it. It's as simple as that. But a lot of these guys, like I said, they can run really simple programs. They run a lot of these programs are as simple as just a box around the tank they're looking at. Sometimes they don't get a lead indicator. Like, I don't even think this guy is a lead indicator because he's trying to shoot a person with effectively no lead. And I looked at this person's perspective. His shots are all like 500 meters behind the helicopter because this round is not very fast. And I don't think he still realizes that this round isn't very fast compared to this missile. Now, obviously, this missile has a very slow reload time because that was the only way they could balance it. But you can see he's still just aiming right at the helicopter. Even with the desync that replays have, he's still not hitting them. Also, the fact that he tanks a missile, because Gaijin still doesn't think that these vehicles deserve overpressure for some god-awful reason. He tanks a missile from the BO, I think is what it was. Yeah, it's this helicopter. But he, of course, look, stares right at him through the woods. Yeah, tanks it to the front and doesn't die. It literally goes through his driver and like between all the ammo rack in the replay in the kill cam video that I looked at, or not kill cam, the hit cam. And there is somebody in the other chat here. I read this earlier. This is a word that's synonymous. It says cheater, I believe is what that says. I see a lot of that word pop up when cheater is involved, when especially some people are talking in other orders. But yeah, so this is a person that is called out. And granted, that's in Russian, but I think is on the EU server. And of course, he's just staring at people directly through walls. Now, as always, I'm hoping that they pair EAC with BattleEye to have a secondary check. But I really do think that it's not going to be fixed unless Gaijin improves their engine, because EAC would run totally fine if they would improve their engine. And instead of letting the game run on a single core, like it still, I think, does, and make it run like a multi-thread, like it should, it would be totally fine. We wouldn't have stutters. We wouldn't have this random nonsense of the game. We would actually have a functional game platform that wouldn't lag all the time or make, you know, desync happen. Or we could potentially have it to where this game would run faster than, you know, was it the refresh rate on the servers is like 10, which is why you get all this stuttering and lag all the time, which is just horrendous to deal with, and why this game will never be esports ready unless our refresh rate goes above like 10 or 15. So if they improve that, then I would love to see if this game would improve significantly. But it's still in the hands of Gaijin, as per usual. So I'm going to leave this here. As always, if you have a player in question, leave it in my comments below, following my format of player ID, replay, of the numbers that I'm asking for after the URL, as well as the fact that I'm asking for a description of what you saw in battle, so I can get a perspective of what you saw compared to what I see in battles. I don't always use the replays in question because sometimes replays don't work or they're buggy or whatever. So if I don't use a replay in question, just know that I am using with what I have. So as always, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, day, evening, or night, and have a good one.